So one of my favorite tricks when I first started out flying mini quads was the inverted stall. It was when I would see like guys shooting a gap or going between two trees, and they'd be coming in and they would flip the quad upside down and they would just let it hang there, and you would see the quad go like between the object. If there was a gap, it's like they shot through it and it would just be basically falling with gravity, and then they'd flip over. And to me that was one of the coolest things, and I'd go out and I'd practice it over and over. And I found out a couple things along the way that I didn't know when I was first flying and everything, trying some of these tricks. I didn't know what I was really doing, but I learned some things along the way, and I'm going to share those things with you. So one of the first things that I found out, which was a problem, was I didn't really have a balanced mini quad. When you're doing this stuff, you want to make sure your mini quad is very balanced. You want to have the battery and the GoPro and everything set up correctly. Obviously the GoPro is stationary in a spot where you're going to have it, but the battery you could move, and you want to be able to just hold it from the center and make sure that it's always balanced, because when you're doing these tricks and you do some flips, you don't want to be like too tail heavy where it starts, wobbling this way or something, and it gets a little bit wonky. And that was one of the biggest mistakes that I had early on. I'd always put the battery far back, and I'd have the GoPro up in the front, and we were using like the Hero 4s at the time, so it was like this, and it was kind of heavy, and I didn't really have a good balanced quad. And it was something nobody really taught me in the beginning. I didn't really see anything about it, but I learned to move the battery. I would watch different videos, and I'd see it have a balanced quad. Another thing was always just kind of keep in mind your framing of the GoPro. If you're running super view, yeah, you get a lot of that footage, but if you want to really be able to position it just right, you'd always have to remember we were in a forward pitch. So when you would flip like halfway, a lot of times you would see the sky, or you'd flip too much then and you're seeing the ground below you. So it was always like this hard balance for me to figure out how to pitch it just right to where this GoPro was aiming backwards. And I'll go through that a little bit more while we're flying, but a lot of it had to do with making sure I had the correct angle of my FPV cam with my GoPro camera, because if I had it really low tilt, because I wasn't as good at the time, so I wasn't flying as much, and my tilt was very low, but my GoPro angle was a lot higher. When I thought this was going straight here, it was aiming at the ground. So matching my tilt with my camera with my actual GoPro made a big difference. And now we have like these really wide angle lenses and everything for our FPV cam, so it does help quite a bit. We had very small ones early on, and it was good for shooting gaps and things like that, but once you tilted it down, it was very easy to lose your orientation of like where your GoPro was positioned to the actual camera. Now I could put it all the way down and I still see quite a bit of a view, so you can still do these tricks and fly a little bit slower. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna put on the chest cam so you guys can see a little stick movement and everything. I'll walk you through this, and hopefully we could get you guys to doing this trick pretty good if it's one of them that you guys want to try out or get better at. Alright, so we're gonna cruise around over here, and so this is like a perfect spot to like practice this, because we have these two palm trees right here to go in between. So what we're gonna do is we use a lot of momentum when we're going through this, and what you want to do is you want to pick up a little bit of momentum, throttle bump, and then like just flick it straight back until you see it come into the feed. So we're gonna do this again. These are a little low. I mean, doing them if you have a little bit of a higher palm tree, it's a little bit better. But like I said, momentum, flick back, and then forward again. Like I'm completing the roll with the full backflip. And what I used to always do is, when I was practicing too, I'd always find like an object that was like pretty high, like say this tree. And so I would like have this behind me, and I would go up, flick to where I could see it, and I'd come back. So that was always my way of kind of practicing doing this stuff, was, okay, there's like a high tree or something, I'm gonna quickly go by it, flick, come back, and see if I could see it directly where I want to in my FPV feed, knowing that I have, both cameras done the same exact way, like with the angle. And it's something where you could, know, you could practice this different ways, coming from the side or whatever. But going between two things was always what I liked seeing, and shooting gaps and doing it like that. It was always pretty cool. Oh, my battery's pretty low already. Crazy. I wouldn't think so. But yeah, hopefully you guys kind of get like the gist of things. That was the easiest way for me to practice them. This isn't a very difficult trick, but it is one that can be done pretty quickly with just flying batteries back to back, looking backwards and going forwards. And then, like I said, just get momentum through an object. So you just want to find something, and you can do this in open air. That was a little wonky. We'll do it one more time. This battery's almost dead, so we'll go back. And you can just do that over and over. You can do it forward, forward pitch, back pitch, and then finally go up to something. Watch it go through the frame and come back through. So yeah, very basic trick, but one of my favorites to do is finding a spot and kind of just flick through it. Surprised this battery's still going. We'll keep going a little bit here. So Rubik's Cube with it, kind of the same thing. That'll be for another episode. We'll go over the Rubik's Cube, and mastering this trick will definitely be able to make you way better to do Rubik's Cubes. Being able to go up, stall, do that full turn, and then finish your move out. So definitely a handy one to have in your bag of tricks. You could do a double, or you do a backflip, full backflip roll, pitch, sorry, and then come back around again. Let's see if we could do that again. That one's kind of sketchy because it's low. So we go back, full, woo, it's close to the palm tree on that one. But yeah, let's bring it in. I'm gonna check this battery. This is a new setup I'm flying, so it's not 100%, but I'm gonna check this battery and see what's up, see what I land at. And, Alright, so hopefully that helps some of you guys out understanding this trick. It is a very basic trick to do, but it does take a little bit of time to master, to getting the flip completely perfectly right. Like you saw, even I was like a little bit off on some of them, but after you get a couple packs in and everything and you're doing it, it kind of just becomes muscle memory, like I said, and that's what you're trying to look to have, is the correct muscle memory. Once you have the fundamentals and everything on setting the quad up right and your rates and just those things that you're used to, it's just the fundamentals of the muscle memory to flick the quad back, get it seeing exactly what you want, and bring it back to you. And like I said, we're going to go over some more advanced tricks and things that we could do with this move, like a Rubik's Cube and even inverted yaw spins and things like that, that are way easier to do once you have this trick down, because you know how to catch it directly where the actual field of view and everything has to be, and be able to do your yaw spins and Rubik's Cubes and all those fun things. So yeah, until next time, let me know in the comments below if there's any type of tutorials or anything you guys want to see on a certain trick, or if you guys like how we're going with these, starting from the basics and kind of just going into more advanced tricks as we go. Leave it all in the comments. Love hearing from you guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good one. Peace.